Hi, I'm David Stützel, and normally I'm mostly interested in experiments with raw food and as unprocessed food as possible or as natural as possible. But I do lots of experiments and make lots of compromises also and try different things. And I just yesterday discovered something that I like, though it's totally a different direction. It's more like the direction of Bulletproof, which sounds Trump-like, and Bulletproof coffee is a kind of actually came from Yak Butter Tea, which is drunk in Tibet. And I drink tea more than coffee. And I just found out how to make a kind of milk that I can just add to my tea or coffee and make it bulletproof coffee or yak butter. And it's kind of, I can take it along and I can even just shake it a little, and it gives a kind of foam. And I don't like to put what is it called, like gelatin, I don't know the word, in things like that, because I'm vegetarian. I even sometimes I could make it vegan by not using butter or ghee, but ghee is actually the only dairy thing that I think is kind of healthy, though I may not want to use it for kind of health reasons for the world and not myself. So this is totally chemistry thing. To mix water with fat, you need something to make that possible, and that's I think it's called emulsifier in English. My English is not very good. I'm from Germany, and the typical thing is lecithin. And this is soy type, but you can also get sunflower lecithin if you don't like soy. And it actually says it's from a health food thing. It says that it's healthy and that you should take it for as a supplement. I don't know about that. I just had this because I was making like liposomal things with it, and suddenly had this idea. I've made nut milk sometimes and noticed that I could add more, or what's it called? Don't remember the word. I could add, it had enough emulsifier in it, so I could add some more oils of different types I like. So I could make raw vegan milk with, and I actually like high fat milks, or milks, no real milk, but so I'll put some of this strange stuff. I have the camera lying there, but I can turn it around to try and show this. This is actually, it's also a fat. Contains a few things also that I actually believe that I should be low in because of what I eat. So it's kind of funny. But I'm more excited about the discovery than that I'm sure that I will drink this a lot. But I think other people will like it, because you can take it along, have coffee or tea, and just put in your thing without a mixer or anything. And it's cheap, or cheaper than some other things. So I put this in a mixer. I go just by feeling and intuition now. It's very hard to resolve. So I take hot water. It's always dangerous to start a mixer with hot water because it kind of blows up. The moment the mixer goes around, especially if you can't start it slow, mine can't start slow, the water kind of makes much more steam in that moment, and the pressure goes up. So you have to be careful. But I can, with my mixer, I can kind of put too much water in now. I put a little more lecithin in, because I want to make this kind of concentrated, more like cream. And now I'm just guessing how much fat I can add with how much lecithin, so that I get all the fat emulsified and don't have kind of leftover. And I add a little salt. It's crystal natural, because some people may like to add some stevia or something. And then I mix just hot water with lecithin, because it's kind of hard to resolve that. And there's also a problem: the lecithin kind of jumps up in the mixer and stays and sticks there. That's why I talked for a while and just left it in the hot water, because now some of it will and if it's very dry and put in fresh, it stays more to the wall. And I hold the lid closed actually, because of the pressure change, and I still let some pressure out. I can't show this properly now because I don't have a thing to put the camera on at the moment, but you will hear it. Do this longer, but now I do the kind of, I can still mix it afterwards if it doesn't. And I put in some MCT oil, which is mostly Caprilsäure, don't know English, which is made from what's it called? Coconut oil. I think I could use coconut oil as well, and I could just use that, then would be vegan, or just coconut oil. And I just put in an amount by guessing. I've done that once before, and I got a good kind of good mixture just by guessing. Don't know if it works again. And now I make it kind of standard bulletproof or yak butter type by also putting butter in. Could also use ghee to have no dairy, what are they called? Amino acids, and just the pure fat, because I don't need the Eiweiß. My English. I don't need things in the butter that are not in ghee for this to work. And I try to mix it again. Maybe you hear in the beginning it does some and that's always because it's still hot in the air, that I'm kind of controlling with my hand on the lid. Like this thing here is actually open and I'm holding it closed, and I let the air out, but not no liquid that may come up, because this kind of starts fast. No, I didn't do it well. Now something spilled out, but not too much. It's in principle the process. Only now I need to figure out how that kind of tastes or feels. And I guess I put so much lecithin in that I can add in more fat. Tastes like that to me. It's hard to tell how to tell, because I haven't actually looked into how to figure out ideal ratios. You can add more and more fat until it doesn't all dissolve into an kind of mixed state that doesn't unmix. And if there's something kind of unmixing on top, then you've put in a little too much, but I don't care for that. Because I want as much fat mixed with the water. The interesting thing about that is it's very whitening and creaming, and I like with the plant, like rice milk or those things, even coconut milk, it's always for me like mixing water with some flour or some little bits and some sugar in coffee or tea, and it doesn't really work kind of as I actually had a time in my life when I was not at all raw vegan, but I was having no fridge and no electricity, and so I used coffee creamer, which is really terrible stuff, but this kind of still, it's also interesting to have something you can travel with that doesn't go bad, and it doesn't need any cooling. And I've used coconut, raw vegan coconut, whatever it's called, not oil, but the whole coconut in a little glass thing, and then mixed it with a little water and more, and it kind of works, but it's not fine enough. And this just emulsifier and oils that gives a really nice milk and whitening texture to things. I'll try this again, how it kind of tastes and feels. It's totally extreme now. It's at least like cream and not like milk, but that's something I also like because I can still put in more water if I want, or I can just leave it like that, and it actually makes it easier to, if you shake it, if you put it in a bottle and you just shake it, you get foam, and without having to have a mixer to get that. Now I'm also making some tea, actually, Ghee, or how is it called? I don't know. The kind of tea that the yak butter people also use. It's not. It's a bit like black tea, but it's fermented, really fermented. Whilst black tea is pu'er. Black tea is cold fermented, but it's actually not quite right, the name for the process, because there are no enzymes or bacteria or living things kind of in the process, like with yogurt or similar stuff. So I'm making this tea now, and I think I could add more. Maybe I should I could add more fat in there because I have put so much of the lecithin in the beginning. I'll add more fat. Sorry for that taking so long. Actually, I just wanted to show you the result. But I'm not there yet. The butter out of the sun, and now I have this nice, it's actually from cream, and maybe there's still not the right mix. I even believe so. I think it's still too much, but I'll fill some of it here just to show how it looks like. It really looks like kind of cream. And can also show it here. It's too much light. And I've got tea here. It's almost as black as coffee. And I will also put in some salt, usually, like the yak butter people, but not as much as the Tibetans will do. And now I add, is it? No, it's not in focus. I make this in focus. Try to add in some. Oh, it's totally foamy already. Some of this cream. And it's too much light again. Just put it in the darker place and make it. It looks nice. And I'll try how that tastes together. Have this on totally not automatic mode, so I have to change everything myself, and I'll try how it came out. It's very nice, and you see under the foam it's kind of brown but with lots of white in it, and it's definitely a very interesting thing to use instead of milk and to take along somewhere, and it keeps quite long. I think the first one I made it yesterday or the day before, I don't know, and I had it standing in the mixer, not even in the fridge, and it stayed fine. And I filled in an old milk cartonage thing, but now I've used this, and I can just, if I want to have foam on top, I just do this. It's totally foamy. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you.